In problem number 6, we are to convert 2 miles into inches, and we look in the back inside cover for measurements. If you look in the back inside cover, you'll see that they have listed that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So what we can do is we can take 2 miles and we can multiply it by that ratio. I'm going to put 5,280 feet in the numerator, and I'm going to put 1 mile in the denominator. And why do I do that? Because I'm going to take my 2 miles and put a 1 underneath it. And since I'm multiplying these two numbers together, what's going to happen is we are going to cancel out the miles, because we have miles in the numerator and we have miles in the denominator of the term. Okay. So we've converted miles into feet in this expression, but we don't want it feet. We want inches. So we continue to look in the back inside cover for measurements, and it also states that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So we can go ahead and multiply by 1 foot over 12 inches. So if I go ahead and work out the math, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the numbers in the numerator and the numbers in the denominator. 2 times 5,280 times 12 is equal to 126,720. Right? And now we should be asking ourselves, what are the units? So again, like I said earlier, we have miles in the numerator and we have miles in the denominator of this term. So we're going to cancel that out. We have feet in the numerator and we have feet in the denominator, so we can cancel that out as well. Okay. What does that leave us with? Inches in the numerator. So that is what our units are going to be. Okay. And you might be asking yourself, well, what about the denominator? Don't we need to multiply that out as well? Well, that's going to be 1 times 1 times 1 is equal to 1. So we would put 126,720 over 1, and that would just be 126,720. Right? And so that's how we convert miles into inches. Put a box around this. And we can go ahead and move on to number 7. Number 7 states that a car travels a distance of 100 feet in about 2.8 seconds. What is the velocity of the car in miles per hour? Round to the nearest whole number. Alright, so what we want to do is convert the 100 feet into miles. Right. And once we finish doing that, we need to convert the seconds into hours. Alright, so how do we convert the feet into miles? Well, if we look in the back of the book, you can see that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Right? So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 5,280 feet over 1 mile. Alright, so we went ahead and converted the feet into miles, right? Because we have a feet in the numerator, we have a feet in the denominator, so those cancel out. And our result is going to be miles per second. Right, we have a miles in the numerator and a miles a second in the denominator. So why don't we go ahead and actually calculate that out. So we have 100 times 1 is going to be 100 divided by 2.8 times 5280, and that's going to equal 14,784. Now, what are the units, right? So, like I said, we have feet in the numerator. That can cancel out with one of these feet in the denominator. And that leaves us with miles over seconds. So this is 100 miles for every 14,784 seconds. So we're almost there. And what we need to do now is convert seconds into hours. Right? So let's go ahead and start with this ratio. 100 miles over 14,784 seconds. And we need to convert the seconds. So we all know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 60 seconds in the numerator divided by 1 minute in the denominator. But we don't want minutes, right? We want hours. So we need to further multiply the expression by 60 minutes over 1 hour. Right. And so if we go ahead and multiply straight across, we'll multiply 100 times 60 times 60. It's going to equal 360,000. 360,000. And that's going to be over 14,784 times 1 times 1. Right? So that's just going to be 14,784. So now what we're going to do is determine what are the units. Right? Well, we have a miles in the numerator. I'm sorry. We don't want to start with the miles. We want to start with the seconds, right? We have a seconds in the denominator, and we have a seconds in the numerator. So both of these are going to cancel out. We have a minutes in the denominator and a minutes in the numerator. So both of those are going to cancel out. And so what does that leave us with? Leaves us with miles over hours. So this is going to be miles over hours. But we don't want this fractional number, right? So we're going to go ahead and drop this in the calculator. 360,000 divided by 14,784, and that leaves us with 24.35. Now, we are asked to round to the nearest whole number, and so we're going to look at the tens place, and if the tens place is lower than a 5, then we're going to leave the 4 as a 4, and it is. So our answer here is 24 miles per hour. And that is our answer.